actors that I interview all the time, they kind of talk about the moment of like, I made it. And I'm wondering for both of you, since you're here on set to talk about both your breakout roles, is this a bit of a moment where you're like, wow, like I'm at Actors on Actors and this feels like something I've watched before and I can't believe I'm here?
No, not really.
No. No. Okay, so
Jeez Louise.
you're like, that's a terrible
That's
question.
unethical.
No, of course. This is it. This is rare air, like I said.
I still don't believe it. I'm still processing that I went through this whole thing and made this show.
Right.
And now I'm like reaping the benefits of it and getting to spend time with people I look up to and watch on TV all the time. It's still, every day is like a pinch me moment.
Because that's the thing, you film the show or, you know, all the episodes and you're kind of in this vacuum and then you have to release it to the world. And as you were saying, you didn't know if it would be a hit. You never know if it's going to be a hit. And you're both on two huge hits. So what was that like when both of your shows were released to the world and then all of a sudden there's the pandemonium?
When you're making a show, when you're in that vacuum, you don't really see it for what it is. Or at least I didn't. I don't know. I'm so new to this, and so are you. Well, you're on season 2, so you're a little less new. But when it was released to the world and got out there and grew its legs and then just started running, I never ever thought it would pick up the speed it did and be received so well. It's such an amazing ride to be on. I mean, we're strapped in and we're going.
It's almost hard to compute. It's hard to compute, and I think for us on the Pit, it's been sort of like it's come in waves. You know, there was a wave whenever the show came out where, you know, I would pick up my phone and be like, oh man, people really like this. I went from having 2,000 Instagram followers to having 3,000 Instagram followers. But for the most part, like everything stayed mostly normal until after season 1 wrapped, and that is when it like people started stopping me on the street, and then now that it's become part of life, which is really surreal. And I think it was just so cool watching Love Story. It was so cool watching this story about somebody who is trying to navigate that level of scrutiny day to day. And obviously neither of us are Kennedys, but just an acknowledgement of the very unique pressures that one faces whenever you can't go to the grocery store anonymously anymore.
How are you both navigating fame? Because you're in this because you're actors and you love the craft of acting, but a byproduct of acting, especially when you get a hit, is fame. And a lot of people think it could be great, but maybe it's not all the time.
I don't know. I haven't really experienced it at its height.
Well, that's just because you're hiding.
That's just because
you're hiding.
Exactly. I'm hiding away in the woods.
Can you go to the grocery store? Or
Yeah,
do you
I
get
can go
stopped?
to the grocery store,
Okay.
but
What about you?
I have definitely taken the subway is a different experience. I can sort of count on being perceived in a different way, but I feel very lucky to have come into public consciousness for playing a messy, complicated character like Langdon. And so I feel like if somebody catches me in the supermarket in my Crocs and my sweatpants, that's not like interruptive of their mythology of me, which is very lucky.
Did you have any odd jobs before you got this gig?
Oh, but I was a model for a very long time. I was Canadian, so I only had a visa to do modeling in America. That's kind of an odd job, if you really break it down.
Okay, so you talked about how you were in Alaska for a period of time. What other odd jobs did you have?
Oh man, I mean, you can do a lot of odd jobs over 15 years. I worked for the East River Ferry. I worked at fashion photography studio. I have worked at every restaurant. Can I tell you a restaurant story?
Please.
I'm working at Evelina, which is a restaurant in Fort Greene, my neighborhood back in Brooklyn. And it's the brunch shift, and I go up to this table, and it's a young woman with her hat pulled on, and what I assume to be her mother. And I go over to the table and I say, "Hey, can I start anybody off with some drinks, round of mimosas, whatever?" Oh, sure. Like, are we celebrating something today? I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm just in town visiting my daughter." And I go, "Oh, that's amazing. Where are you in town visiting from?" And she tells me, and I say, "Okay, well, how long are you here for?" "I'm here for a week." And I say, "Okay, well, what are you doing while you're in town?" She's like, "I'm going to go see Broadway show." And I go, "What are you seeing?" And she goes, "I'm seeing Stereophonic." And I go, "Oh my gosh." And I fall out and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I've been wanting to see that show for so long. It's so good. Everyone that's seen it says it's amazing. I'm so jealous." And she goes, "Oh yeah, well, my daughter's in it. And it's Sarah Pigeon with her hat pulled down.
That's
and
awesome.
I hadn't even recognized her. But it felt so good to be able to gas up Sarah Pigeon to her mother without knowing that it's
Yeah.
her. Because we've all been in that situation. I'm sure you get a million compliments a day from people being like, oh, you're so good, you're so good, you're so good. But to have someone's parents hear it,
Yeah.
you know, it was a really special moment. She probably doesn't remember it, but I will never forget it.
Wait, and the fact that now you two are here together meeting and you can tell the story about his co-star, that is
That's
kismet,
pretty wild.
as I like
Yeah,
to
that's
say.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Sarah?
I haven't, well, except for serving her mimosas.
Right. Okay. Well, she will watch this and she will learn that at one point Patrick Ball was her waiter.
She
And
won't
now-
remember. She won't remember.
Well, but now she'll
but
know.
look at you now.
And yeah, look at you now. Now you're all in Emmy's conversation. So how's that for never giving up on your dreams, right?
Just stay in there.
That's
Just keep chugging.
incredible.
That's it.
I can't wait for her to watch that. You have to text her in that group
I will.
chat
I'm
and
going
tell
to.
her
I'm going to
about
have to
it.
text her after this. I'll get in that group chat.
Yeah,
hey, you'll never
exactly.
guess.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
That is
Do you watch
incredible.
The
Right.
Pit?
Do you
Yeah.
watch the Pit?
Dude, I'm
He was
sitting
your
here
waiter.
with your
Wait,
waiter
how-
right now.
Exactly.
How long ago was that? How many years ago?
That must have been 2024?
Oh my, not that long ago.
No, that was like,
Wow,
that was,
yeah, that's really
Oh yeah,
recent.
well of course, because that's when the
Stereophonic,
show. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
that was probably a month before I got the call to come do the pit.
Okay,
Wow.
if there's anyone watching here who's about to give up, do not give up because 2024
Don't you do it.
you were waiting on Sarah Pigeon and now you are starring on the Pit. I love it. During your actors on actors conversation, you both spoke about paying off your debt and your student loans when you got both of these shows. It's obviously such a tough industry to break into, and you both have done it.
Mm-hmm.
But was there a moment where you thought, I'm done and I'm going to give up? This is just not working and it's time to quit?
Many of those moments. Many of those moments. I was living in a shipping container in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, I was working
Wow,
as a
those-
night security guard at a fishing camp in Bear Creek, Alaska.
Nice.
And I thought I was done. You know, and then I came back and went and did that play in Miami and met Alicia. And during that period of time, I was applying for fundraising jobs. My parents were trying to convince me to take up heating and air conditioning. You know,
It's good business.
It's good.
It is good business.
It's good business.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moments for sure.
And what kept you going?
I can't do anything else.
Good answer. You know, I met my wife in Alaska.
I literally can't do anything else.
And what about you?
Yeah, I was actually contemplating quitting before I got this, like just before I got this. But there's an itch. There's like this scream deep down inside that isn't vocal to anyone else but yourself. And in order to get that out, you just have to keep going. And I knew that something would eventually hit. Never in my wildest dreams had I ever thought I'd be playing a Kennedy.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
I think I would still be trying to pursue this somehow, some way. I think I just would have moved back to Canada and taken up the free healthcare.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to ask. Under this, you have a lot of tattoos.
I do.
People may not know that, but
Yeah.
we saw you on set before. How long did it take in the makeup chair to
I
get
would-
them covered up?
In any of the shirtless scenes, or when I'm wearing, I have them on my legs as well, wearing shorts, it was always like an extra 2 to 2.5 hours.
Oi.
And it was always like about an hour before work, hair and makeup. But if we had to do that, then it was like it ended up being the
They do the airbrush.
airbrush. And then chest hair is all mine, so they have to they call it excavating. They have to dig it out with a spoolie. Takes a while.
The
Yeah.
glamorous part
Exactly,
of the job,
totally.
right?
There's a lot of meditating during that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thank you both so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Show's phenomenal.
So good to meet you.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks.